Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the compatibility, so looking at the love and anger compatibility between both Scorpio versus Aquarius. Now I recommend you watch this video if you happen to have your Sun, your Moon, your Venus, your Mars, and also your Mercury within either of these two signs, because Mercury, you see, is all about communication, and communication is pretty important when it comes to compatibility. However, before we do get started, if you would like to know more information all about compatibility within astrology, along with your Venus sign, as well as your Libra house and your 7th house respectively within your natal birth chart, then I have created a Libra season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today. Okay then, so with all those introductions out of the way, Scorpio versus Aquarius. Let's do this. Okay, so the first thing to keep in mind here is that these two signs are making what's referred to as a square aspect between one another within the zodiac wheel. And what square aspects can signify is that they can signify pressures, conflicts, tensions, and criticisms. But I not only want to look at these tensions and criticisms and pressures and such, I also want to look at how they can come together into a harmonious relationship overall. So really addressing the love and romance and courtship here. So with that being said, let's take a look at the attraction. What is it that can bring these two signs together into a relationship in the first place? And the way I'm going to kind of go into this is that, well, both of them right off the bat can be pretty misunderstood in how they approach people and how they just appear overall. And what I mean by this is that we have Scorpio, who can be seen as relatively mysterious, but then we also have Aquarius, Aquarians can be the types of people who just sort of come in and out of your life unexpectedly. You almost don't really see an Aquarius coming, and it'll just be very random and a bit unpredictable as to where they go, when they show up. You just don't really know what you're going to get when it comes to an Aquarius, so they can have that unpredictable shock factor. So whenever they meet a Scorpio, the Aquarius may not really know exactly how to read a Scorpio very well, but then likewise I think a Scorpio may find it difficult to read the Aquarius. See, Scorpios can be really good at trying to hone in, really hone in on a person, and that can be just from having a really meaningful discussion with someone. So they could be sitting there and they try to strike up a conversation with the Aquarius, and the Aquarius will be really friendly. Aquarians can be super social and friendly, but they can also be quite free-spirited, and as soon as the Scorpio thinks that they're kind of getting somewhere into the Aquarius is gone. The Aquarius can just kind of move on to a different subject, or maybe they bring up another strong opinion that they have about a global matter around the world somewhere else. See, the Scorpio may be trying to have this conversation and going really deep into the conversation. The Aquarius will also join the Scorpio in this conversation. They will also like the thought of talking about more deeper subjects that go beyond just the social norm. But it's the Aquarius, I feel, that can be a bit more jumpy with it. They can kind of go from subject to subject, from political discussion to the next one. Scorpio may be trying to bring it back to the point a lot as well. You know, as the Aquarius kind of flies away with the air energy to something else, the Scorpio can pick up on that and be like, no, 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 no. Not that the Scorpio is intentionally doing this, but it's bringing it back to the point. And this is where I feel there can be a conflict between these two signs. They'll even start to misunderstand each other, because if the Scorpio tries to dominate the discussion, and Aquarius can kind of pick up on that a little bit, and then they can maybe even possibly, depending on, I feel, the connection they have, it really does depend, but the Aquarius may check out. They may just sort of be more cool, come across as more detached from the whole situation, because the whole thing to them is that they were past that, you know. It's like we already passed that ages ago. Let's just talk about something else. Like, let's spice it up, let's freshen it up a little bit, you know, air it out. But then I also think, looking at the connection that they have, you know, if these are people who have been in a relationship for a long time and they've built up that respect and they've built up a lot of loyalty towards one another, then I do think that an Aquarius is going to be more likely to just sit there and really listen, like really, really digest what the Scorpio is saying, and they'll be a lot more patient with the Scorpio. I feel that the more a Scorpio gets to know the Aquarius, because the Aquarius can be the Aquarius can be the type of sign that it can be hard to crack through into their inner world. It can be hard, and they can find it difficult to really express how they truly feel about things. And they're not just going to do it right off the cuff. They're not just going to express how they feel with anybody. It takes a while, I feel, to get to the depths of an Aquarius, truly get to the depths of them. And a Scorpio person may be the type of person who can do that. But if the Aquarius isn't ready for that, and they don't really know the Scorpio that well, then I feel there can be a bit of a disconnect. And Aquarians don't really like the thought of being trapped or confined in any way. To them, having their freedom stripped away from them is like the worst thing ever. But I also think that with time, if they do build on a really supportive relationship together, an Aquarius person may look at that Scorpio person and see someone who's actually just really trying to look out for that Aquarian's well-being, you know? It's almost like the Scorpio knows that the Aquarius has or holds feelings and emotions that they keep in. You know, there's certain things, personal information, private information, that the Aquarius has probably been through, that maybe the Aquarius, whenever things happen throughout their life, they emotionally checked out. You know, Aquarians are known for being detached, okay? They're known for disassociating. But that doesn't mean that they don't have emotions, okay? Aquarians are highly emotional people. It's just that there's probably been, or if they are faced with traumatic experiences throughout their lives, they can disassociate. They go into their own world. They check out from reality. Kind of similar to Pisces as well sometimes. I feel Pisceans can be like that. But the Aquarius kind of can overlook the emotion. They go past it so quickly. They don't process it. They need time. They really need time to process their emotions. And Aquarians take their time to process their emotions when they're in their own solitude. But bringing this back to the point, that Scorpio may kind of unconsciously see that. It's like the Scorpio has this detector, you know, they can be like this towards all people. It's like they have this way of seeing into your depths, you know, seeing into your psychology unknowingly, and picking up on feelings, you know, picking up on little things, little cues, little subtleties. So them meeting the Aquarius and them building on a relationship together, over time, I feel that the Aquarius is just going to open up more and more and more with that Scorpio. it is going to impact that Aquarius on such a profound level, and they can truly like build on a really solid relationship in that way. But the two of them have to be open, and this is it, you know. They can clash, you know, these signs, oh my goodness, the amount of hot and cold temperaments that can happen between them, you know. One minute the Scorpio will be on one side of the extreme, next minute the Aquarius is on the other side of the extreme, and they're just going hot and cold back and forth between each other, and then they don't know how to read each other, and then they're both misunderstood towards each other, and then there's arguments and there's fights and there's feuds. But if they are open, I think that this is where a really good relationship can come in. Them remaining open towards one another, being okay with their vulnerabilities, you know. Even with Scorpio, like Scorpios also can have the tendency of hiding things within themselves, but an Aquarius can be that type of person who, yes, maybe they're not going to fully understand emotionally what the Scorpio has been through. They're not going to get that intensity, but an Aquarius can be great at being inquisitive. You know, the Aquarius can come up with some seriously good analogies, good realizations, and make logical sense out of things. And most of all, an Aquarius will ask questions. The way that an Aquarius can help another person, so the Scorpio in this example, is they could say something like, well, have you ever thought of this? Or how did that occur to this situation? Oh, so who's that person? And how do you know them? Okay, so what age are they? And how did that contribute to that experience? And, you know, Scorpio, especially at the beginning, may look at this and think, are you trying to interrogate me? Are you trying to control me? Are you trying to get the upper hand over me? So you can see here that that can be quite, you know, intimidating to the Scorpio even, and they'll pull back maybe. But if a Scorpio can be more open to the Aquarian's ability to ask questions, not to interrogate, but to actually show a genuine curiosity, then I feel that they can start to really trust each other. Now, that's not to say that all Aquarians are going to be goodly or kindly intended whenever they do go into converse with another person, because yes, there can also be that negative stance to an Aquarius where they may kind of act like they're too cool for school, you know, like nobody gets me, I'm so different, like I'm so unique. And then they kind of ask people questions, but not as a way to be really genuine about it or be really kind towards their well-being. It's just more of, oh, well, I'm better than you anyway, you know, like I know way more than you. So you can get that with the Aquarius. They can have a tendency of doing that towards other people, and they can be quite uppity, and, you know, they can sit on their moral high ground above everybody else. But if the Aquarius is that type of Aquarius who's just like, hey, you know, we're all the same, you know? Yeah, maybe we're not exactly all the same, duh. Duh, we're not all the same, but we are all the same in the way of which, yeah, we've all been through stuff. Yeah, we're all human. Yeah, whatever. Like, okay, that's your job. You do that for a living. I do this for a living. Oh, that's that person's race. That's that person's color. That's that person's language. So, whatever. Yeah, we're all different. Yes, we're all different, but we are the same in that we are here together as a collective on this planet, living our lives. Accept people, be kind, you know? Just be kind. But truly, an Aquarius meeting a Scorpio and just that Scorpio feeling that genuineness from the Aquarius, then that will then sort of subconsciously give this Scorpio permission for them to talk as well. And I think that this is where a lot of the keys to a harmonious relationship lies for these two, is, like I said, just, I'm gonna say it again, is being open, you know, it's being flexible enough, it's trying to put their own pride and egos to the side. And so I think that in this way, both of them can really help each other. So the Aquarius can help the Scorpio in terms of their mind and logic, but then also the Scorpio can help the Aquarius in terms of their emotions and their feelings. Now, in terms of what they enjoy doing together, I think that conversation and talking about global affairs and conspiracies and things that are quite unknown, you know, these types of subjects, they can converse about them and go deep, you know, they can dive in there and unlock and uncover a lot of stuff. Both of them aren't going to be afraid to talk about taboo types of subjects, especially if the Scorpio brings up a taboo subject. The Aquarius is going to be so inquisitive and curious about that subject, and they may even go and do some research about it as well, and then they can bring that research to the Scorpio, and then the Scorpio can also investigate and do more research. So the two of them coming together and having conversations about these types of things can really help them bond. But of course, I think that a thing to be aware of from both of them is just how, for example, a Scorpio can be really passionate, really passionate about what they're learning and investigating. So when they bring in their opinions, it can be really strong and firm. But then also an Aquarius, they can take a certain subject and they can really think about it, like think and analyze it too much almost. But then when they go to share it, they can also be quite strongly opinionated. So both of them are going to bring their strong viewpoints about that certain subject. And if both of them are not careful, you know, there can be conflicts because they may disagree with certain things that are brought up. And if they do disagree, both of them can have the tendency of just being more firm in their own viewpoint. So again, you know, learning how to communicate in a way that's more about, well, I think this, you think that, that's okay, you know. We don't have to necessarily change each other's minds or opinions unless we want to have a debate about it, which we can all have a healthy debate where we seek to change the mind of the other person, which can be good fun. But still, it's good for them to be aware of how that can turn pretty ugly really fast if they're not careful. I'd say that Aquarians are really good at spending time alone, and so are Scorpios, right? And this is quite interesting because I've read in a few different materials about how, yes, Aquarius is the sign of friendship, and then that correlates with Aquarians having loads of friends. And I can kind of see how that makes sense. However, I also think that Aquarians, they can actually put such an important stance on friendship that they, just like Scorpio, they can choose their friends really wisely, very carefully. Aquarians, they may be the types of people who don't mind spending time alone, but then likewise Scorpios are good with spending time alone as well. They can be really comfortable with it. So that both of them being in a relationship together and then spending time alone, you know, watching movies, cooking dinner, just being in each other's company, I feel that they could really enjoy that. But at the same time, I think that every once in a while they may enjoy just getting out there and doing something unexpected. So going for a nice drink or a nice meal somewhere, or maybe going to the cinema, maybe something just a bit weird, you know. Both of these signs are gonna like really strange, creepy things, especially the Scorpio. Really creepy, eerie stuff, which the Aquarius may look to and think, oh wow, that's different, never seen that before, ooh, I'm interested in that. So they can really bounce off each other in terms of their likes and their interests a little bit. Plus, let's also not forget how Scorpios can be known for, you know, getting the tattoos and the piercings and doing things with their hair that's kind of like different or strange. But then also, so can Aquarians, you know. Aquarians can do pretty weird things. They can also be quite rebellious, but then also Scorpios can be known for being a bit destructive and reckless as well. So that rebellious nature with the recklessness and the destructiveness, they can get into some pretty messy situations together. Even looking at friendship quickly here, the two of these signs getting into a friendship and then going out, they can just get into some really dodgy situations, and then they'll probably laugh about it later and just be like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that happened. Can you believe that happened? Yeah, that freaking happened. What is wrong with us? Now, in terms of their affection towards one another, the way that they show their affection can be quite different. So we have Scorpio, who's more about the intimacy, looking at that deep bond, the deep closeness that they form with another person. But if they don't really understand the Aquarius very much, especially at the beginning, then of course the affection that they show the Aquarius may not be received in the sort of way that the Aquarius wants, or the Aquarius may act in a certain way that then the Scorpio starts to be quite self-conscious, or they start to question a little bit. And what I mean by this is that it can even get to a point where the Scorpio maybe feels like they are the ones who are kind of being too much for the Aquarius. But the Aquarius, I feel with affection, Aquarians, they just need time. It's like they need time to get to that point, especially in terms of friendship, okay? So we look at friendship here. In love, intimacy, an Aquarius, I feel, will be more intimate, they'll be more open, they'll be more bonding and close with their partner when they know that they have a friend in their partner. But you know what? Overall, I do think that this can be a relationship that can be highly controversial. It can be outlandish, it can be unusual, it can be shocking, it can be extreme. It can be deeply, deeply insightful, healing, transforming. But whilst the Scorpio is maybe looking for that deep, intimate bond with the Aquarius may be looking at then their own individuality and their own freedom within the relationship. And you know, that in itself can create a lot of implications for the two of them. So with that, I think Scorpio could be really good to give the Aquarius the space that they need when they need it, but then also for the Aquarius to appreciate the Scorpio's affection and to appreciate the Scorpio's desire just to want to protect the Aquarius and keep them close. Okay, so now we have looked at the love and romance and courtship. Let's now look at anger. So firstly, let's imagine here that the two of them are living together. And what ends up happening is the Aquarius is just, they're on their own. They're listening to music for a little while. They're doing their own thing in their room. But then the Scorpio goes into the Aquarian's room and they ask them to borrow their earphones. But they can see that the Aquarius is using their earphones already. And the Aquarius kindly says, no, I'm not lending you them because I'm using them right now, so maybe later, yeah, after I'm done with this. But Scorpios can have the tendency of wanting to have it go their way a little bit, or they can be quite pushy and slightly demanding. So they may say, oh no, just go on, oh please, can I just, oh, it's just for 5 minutes, it's just for one song, I just want to listen to one song, you're going to be listening to that for like probably a good hour, 2 hours, but this is just for one song, please. And the Aquarius is like, no, listen. To the Aquarius it's fair because they're already using them and it's their earphones, but to the Scorpio it's fair to them because it's only one song, we just want to listen to one song, so what? So the Scorpio may push, the Aquarius may push. This could even result in the Scorpio trying to use certain emotional manipulation to get their way. And if the Aquarius picks up on that and they start to talk about how the Scorpio is doing that, that's going to hurt the Scorpio's feelings even more because the Aquarius is pointing that out with their rational, logical thought. And then the Aquarius may not even get overly bothered by it. They're just kind of looking at the Scorpio like, What is your problem? Are you serious? And because the Aquarius is maybe even keeping their own emotions in check a little bit, they're kind of doing the whole detachment thing, or they're not letting themselves give into the Scorpio's emotional world, then the Scorpio is going to get even more pissed. And then it just even may become too much, and then the Aquarius may just snap. And if the Aquarius snaps, then the Scorpio may have a tendency of turning around to the Aquarius and saying something like, see, I knew you would snap eventually. I knew you would. You're the irrational one. This could even be, right, where the Scorpio tries to control the situation by taking the earphones off the Aquarius, or by doing something else to wind the Aquarius up to get a response. And then if the Aquarius feels that, then they're also going to get really, really angry. If you're going to ruin that on me, Scorpio, you're going to destroy something on me, if you're going to take something from me, well, I'm going to go and do it on you. How do you like me not? You know, this combination can be really, really hard given the circumstance. So with this situation, I think that it would be a good idea for the Scorpio to look at their own emotional maturity, okay? Look at how they react to things whenever they're maybe told no. But then also it would be good for Aquarius just to keep themselves cool and calm, and maybe not resort to, well, I'm going to do this on you out of fairness because you did that on me. Because reacting like that from the Aquarius to the Scorpio can also make it worse. And now let's flip it to the other side. So Scorpio getting annoyed and angry. Right, so let's imagine that the two of them have just started dating, and what might end up happening is the Aquarius is just trying to be inquisitive and asking the Scorpio questions about themselves. The Aquarius is trying to jump into a lot of deep stuff really quickly, or it's almost like the Aquarius can just move faster into things in comparison to a Scorpio, because I feel that a Scorpio, it's really important to build up that trust and that intimate connection first, but then also it's good for the Aquarius to build up the friendship first. But to the friendship for the Aquarius is doing all of these things, you know, that's a friend. It's like, hey, tell me about you. What do you think about this? And what's your opinion about that? But the Scorpio is like, you know, more secret, more private. Why are you doing this? This is a lot. This is a lot to me. And then all of a sudden the Aquarius starts to express their ideas about the world around them, like these conspiracies and these people over here, and I have this idea. So, hey Scorpio, I want to throw this theory your way. I want to throw this concept your way. Are you ready for this? Can I share this with you? Scorpio's like, right, okay, yeah, share it with me. And this Aquarius goes to speak. They go to communicate. But they can just jump from point to point. They can maneuver from sentence to sentence and then go from topic to topic, and then it just becomes all like muddled up to the Scorpio, and the Scorpio maybe isn't even able to process what the Aquarius is saying. And then the Aquarius is like, so what do you think? And the Scorpio's like, okay, that was a lot. Can we like break this down? You know, Scorpio's more likely going to want to break information down and ruminate on it and dissect that part, whereas the Aquarius is just seeing the bigger picture, right? It's like the collective theme. So in this situation, the Aquarius is trying to communicate all of this. Scorpio's maybe not quite getting it, especially if they've just started dating and they're really just trying to get to know each other. Then the Aquarius is feeling misunderstood from the Scorpio, and then the Aquarius may become quite overwhelmed. And then what they may end up doing is, because they feel misunderstood from the Scorpio, then they go into their heads. And then they're kind of emotionally distant. Then Scorpio picks up on this. Why are they emotionally distant? There's something wrong. Where have they gone? Like, are you okay? Aquarius is like, yeah. Are you sure? You alright? Yeah. Because the Aquarius is okay. They are okay. It's just that they're not quite sure of what to say or how to make sense of how to elaborate on the fact that the Scorpio didn't get it and the fact that they feel misunderstood. They don't even know how to let the Scorpio know in a way. But they know they're okay. But at the same time, they're not exactly okay because the Scorpio feels it. So what may end up happening is you have an Aquarius who is emotionally distant. You have a Scorpio who's trying to get to the Aquarius to form that emotional bond. But then through that, the Scorpio then feels that coolness, right? Oh, they're being cold with me. They're not being emotionally available to me right now. Oh. And what even may end up happening is the Scorpio then, they distance themselves. They then start to think, is the Aquarius hiding something from me? Are they being secretive towards me? What are they not letting on? There's something not right. I know that there's something not right. And this all is stemming from miscommunication. So in this situation, I think it would be really important for both of them to look at their communication towards one another. It's good for the Aquarius, first of all, to appreciate that, yeah, not everybody is going to understand their wider vision, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to get it. It doesn't mean that they never will. Over time, they can certainly learn how to get it, but that's the beauty of relationships. But also, I think it would be a good idea for the Scorpio to show inquisitiveness towards the Aquarius as well, you know, so asking them questions in return. If the Scorpio doesn't really get something, just to ask a question to the Aquarius and maybe try to at least break through the Aquarian's mind a little bit. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the Scorpio is going to know exactly what to ask, and they don't have to, but as long as they show, you know, I think as long as they show some sort of interest overall towards the Aquarius, then the Aquarius, they're going to see that the Scorpio really does care. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the love and anger compatibility between Scorpio versus Aquarius. Now, if you do happen to have any thoughts and opinions on today's video, then please be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!